other different females. You understand what I'm saying? To make it easier. And in fact, people like Jazz is the reason why I respect other female writers. Like, she made it easier for me to listen. Because sometimes I feel like, not all women, I feel like some women, they don't really write as consistent. But then when you run into a Jazz, and Jazz is sitting here writing platinum records, and you're like, okay, I got to pay attention now. You understand? So it's a little different. So I get the pros and the cons in this industry. And this industry holds no punches. This industry right here, man, is tough. It's tough.
Right. All right. So listen, real quick, y'all. I want to start kind of winding down a little bit, wrapping up. I know everybody got things to do and all that. I'm gonna be on live for a while tonight. Just letting y'all know that. But anyway, so we got a few questions. Shout out to everybody who's putting their questions in the questions comment. I'm in the question section. All right. So we got a great question. Okay. Okay. We're gonna start with the basics. Let's go. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that question?
Yeah, I can see that. For me, it depends. It really does depend. It's not. I mean, I love it when the hook comes first, honestly. But lately, people are making tracks with longer intros, and I'm kind of going off feeling, and I kind of hum melodies, and so a lot of times I do start, with like the verse melody until I get into that sweet spot. I mean, I love when the hook comes first. That makes it so easy.
Mike, what you say to that?
I gotta go with Jazz. Like, it just depends on what hits me first. Like, sometimes I'll hear the hook and I'll even tell the producer, look, can you go back and change this? Because the energy changed for me. Like, you understand? Like, the hook hit so hard and this is what I came up with. And then they'll hear the hook and be like, this hook is fire. Okay, best. So now let's go back to the beginning and work on the beginning again. Like how me did on the live. When we're working on records, we do piece by piece because I'm able to go back and forth, but it really all depends. But me personally, I love to start with the hook.
Gotcha.
I love to because I want to know what's going to be the most important part, and then I could like pretty much spiral out of control from there. So
right,
I try.
So Rock, so great answers, yo. Rock, this is a question for you and me, but so he says, what do you look for in writers for your tracks? What do you look for? What do you specifically look for, Rockwilder?
I look for. I just learned about melody, but I've been blessed to be in the room with a lot of great other writers that have probably done melody and I've not paid attention to it, but just Janet brought it to my attention. But I think melody has been the thing that has been driving me for most of these writers that I've been blessed to work with. And I also appreciate a style, like, you know what I'm saying? And I also appreciate people that knows how to jump into form with whatever I'm writing for. I like to personally write for the people the artists that I know, the artists I know. Like when they say, yo, a Mary track, I like to know that it's for her. I like to know that it's for the certain person. Sometimes freestyling, I would pretty much just let the writers steer the ship and then see how it feels in the midst of the song. But I do love animated writers. I do love writers that are kind of like very, very on point with rhythm and lyrics. I love lyrical content though, because I think that's just the rapping part of me. I love lyrical content, and I love for people to stay on like a good subject matter with it.
Gotcha. That's dope. So
pretty good question. Pretty good question right there at the bottom.
That's an absolute great question.
That's the big question. I'll let Jazz go first.
Listen, I love this question right here. Check this out.
Oh.
She answered that question. What's the longest you've sat on completing one song that you were stuck on? Great question.
Yeah, Jazz.
I mean, I come back to records. I'll come back to a record and come back to it until I get it right. The longest, I mean, maybe like a month, like a full month, listening and riding, I'm still like kind of old school. I gotta go to the car.
Shout the Blue Note.
I gotta go to the
You gotta
car.
go to the car?
You gotta
I
go
gotta
to
go
the
to the
car.
car.
GOD.
When
I
you
gotta
go
go to the car. I
you
gotta
go
drive. I gotta listen. I gotta, you know.
She's right. She's right. I remember, and I know this is sidebar with production. And when I went to LA and I was doing tracks for people, I had to rent a car. I had to rent a Benz, and I had to be able to have hours out the day where I drove up Mulholland Drive and through through Malibu, and I had to play the tracks in those settings and just feel it, and then drive back to the studio to really confirm the song. Like I would do that too.
Right.
I know what that is. Yeah.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, I
Go
would
to the next
definitely
question.
say about. I would definitely say about a good. Yeah, about a month. A month sounds about right.
A month?
A month sounds about right. Because you gotta remember, I'm writing it, I'm arranging it. You know what I'm saying? Chances are I'm probably gonna mix it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm dealing with a whole lot. Like I gotta make sure that I want the beat to drop right here. I'm putting the crescendos. So I have so much to think about. And if it don't all fall into place, the whole song is in the garbage. Like I mean,
Bro, sound like me. Sound like me, Mike over there. Sound like me.
right? It's tough.
Let's go to my next question. Shout out to my good friend Whitney Nicole. We got a dope record out, Space Cadet, that's out right now. She says, "How do you know you've created a hit?" That's a deep question. That's a very general question as well.
It
There's
depends.
so many
It depends
components that creates a hit. But
it depends on it depends on what's within you, because it depends on what your quality content wants to know. You know what I'm saying? Most people play hit records in the room. When they have a record, they play another hit record beside it and challenge it. I've been in a lot of rooms where people do that. They'll play a hit record and challenge it. I'm one of those people. I'm like Jasmine. I'm top 20. It don't have to sound like the top 20. It just got to give me a feel of the top 20. I gotta be able to listen to probably the top 30 or the top 20 on Billboard and see. And I have to be able to see your song push songs aside.
Competitive.
Yeah,
it's got to be competitive.
Yeah,
I definitely have to agree with Rock. I think Arsonist showed me that. You know, like he would always say, "Oh, that's good. Hear this, and now hear what's out," and like he'll compare it. And if it wasn't there, it was like, but that's not it. This is what's hot right now. Look what everybody's bumping to, like how Jazz was saying earlier. Like Wyclef always said, every week, me, Rich, Sincere, we always had to show Wyclef a list of the current songs of the week. Because they change often. They change. We always had to show him so that way he knew we was on our job. And he's like, we got to be current, y'all. We got to be current. If it don't sound like that, let's keep on going. And I think that I think it's a pretty working formula. It works pretty good.
Right.
Now
the other thing is,
go ahead, man.
So I agree with all of that. You know, the truth is, Whitney, sometimes you don't know.
Right.
You know, it just feels really great. It feels good to you. Like Rock said, you know, you can't wait to get out the studio to get into the car and play it. And then you get home and you're still like playing it like a few more times because, you know, you want to hear it. And then you get upstairs and you want to listen one more time on your phone. Like that gives you a good indication that you're onto something. I mean, it's really hard. I mean, you know, you could have a strong top line, you can have a catchy melody. I think 1500 said like less than 50 words. You know, you want to keep it simple. You know, there's a lot of things you can go by, but, you know, you also have to keep searching, right? Like you got to keep pushing and you got to keep searching and like, you just got to keep going.
Right. Absolutely.
And eventually, I think you will get one.
I have a question. What determines a great hook?
Great melody.
Simple, catchy melody and a catchphrase.
Yes, it does. She's hit it right on the nose.
Can I be honest? Can I be honest?
Especially if I can remember it. If I can remember it fast, yeah.
A lot of people in the live, I speak to a lot of writers. People come to, as y'all all know, I have my own recording studio. I book sessions every single day. So people come to the studio and they record all the time. I'm going to be totally honest with y'all. A lot of these hooks are trash.
Yes, they are.
Well, because they're wordy. They're not in the pocket.
Talk about it, Jazz.
They're wordy. They're not in the pocket. The last line that they leave you with is the same monotonous melody. There's no changes, and there's nothing that stands out, and there's nothing that, like, you know, it's the climax. It should bring you up and bring you a little bit back down and bring you back into the verse. Like, it's the part of the song you want to hear again. So, you know, I don't know.
So how do we help them? How do we help them?
Listen to study records. I don't know about everybody else.
Listen to Mary J. Blige's Real Love. Listen to that.
Study records.
That's a great hook. Mike, that's a great hook.
Study, you know, one of my favorite writers, or since I've been little, and this is probably just because, you know, the music my dad liked, but like I was little, like 7 or 8, and I was like, Smokey Robinson was like everything to me. You know, like simple, like I was, you know, I love music. Like it doesn't matter what genre. Like, I learned to appreciate the song.
Right.
And like it gives you like a feeling, like, you know, but you have to go back and study. You have to learn records. Like I was a little girl. I couldn't really hardly remember anything. I used to write everything down. This is before you could just go and get the lyrics.
Right.
You know, it's crazy what she just said.
Yes.
Please elaborate.
No, it's crazy what she just said, because I do think that a lot of the music that you hear now, even though like you do hear like some kind of sampling from the old school, which that doesn't really count for me, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. What I do think is that I come from a different era of music. Like you said, I was the one. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never. And the next minute, so what does it feel like? The world is on your shoulders. And then I grew up with the Joes, with the Boyz II Men, I had so many different I had so many different types of music to hear.
Examples.
And it's like sometimes it's so hard to explain. Like, how can you help somebody with something that they really haven't had a chance to experience? And telling people to go back to really learn their craft, like she just said, which is correct. That's kind of hard, because
it's not hard. It's not hard to the process.
The process. Okay.
And I'm saying it like this. Jasmine got hit with the process being in a car with her dad. Woo. The process came without her even wanting to know. It came. It fell on her. You know, that's what happened to me. And when I was 7 years old and I heard Songs in the Key of Life, and it said all tracks produced by Stevie Wonder, I asked somebody, why does it say that? And they said that means that he did everything on this album. You know what I did? I went in front of when kids were playing on the street, I was in front of my step like, I was trying to make my own album. At 7 years old, I was like this. Just so happy about what I heard and saying, okay, let me make another Isn't She Lovely? Let me try to John Coltrane. I'm listening to Miles Davis. I'm trying to make my own horns. But see, that's a process where you either grow into it, or if you want to learn it, you have to go and study.
You have to go back.
There's no way, because you know why? You'll just be writing for the moment. You won't be writing for the lifetime.
Right.
I mean, I was working with like 50 Cent, and like I still was going back and like studying.
Right.
Like vocally, like production, like I still to this day, I will still go back and listen to a record 100 times and really figure it out.
Look at Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is one of the most simplest lyrical of voices in hip hop, right? What is Snoop
super
Dogg?
humble, by the way, too.
Super humble. What does Snoop Dogg always do? Listens to old school.
That's right.
Everybody, look at Pharrell. Pharrell is one of the most basic but most effective producers and writers in this game. What does he always take from? Before.
Right.
He always takes from before. Jay-Z.
I mean, look at Bruno. Look at Bruno Mars.
Bruno's a great example.
Bruno just went into a time capsule. He just went into a time capsule.
Great.
That's it.
Great example.
All those melodies, like one thing, like my ear is very attracted to melody. I can tell you 10, 15 melodies in one of those songs. This came from here, this came from there, that came from there.
Right.
Like, and you know, there's really no new melodies.
Right.
You know? And so if you memorize,
she said it.
If you memorize, you know, hit records with dope melodies, they're like in a bank. So for me, like, I don't even think I'm super, like, I don't think there's anything different about me. My mind holds on to melody.
That's right.
You know? And so all the songs that I listen to, they imprint into my brain, and I'm able to, like, just bring different melodies together. And that's what hit records are.
Right.
You know, it's
let
so
me tell you something.
Hold
on. Let me tell you something.
Bro.
Something that happened. I remember one Grammy Award ceremony, where everybody was doing all of this music. Nelly was doing country grammar. Everybody was being nominated, right? There was this one lady who kept going up there every time they announced what the best album was, the best single by a woman, the most hottest pop record. And I'll tell you this, Nelly came to the studio one day, right? And he was like, "Can you please tell me who the hell is Nora Jones?" And I said, he said, "I'm over here, they saying my name, I'm over here getting the edge of my seat because I just know I won this award." And next thing you know, they said, "Nora Jones." You know why? Because she was like, "I've waited till I saw the sun. Don't know why it didn't come." She was going up there like, snatching everything by that one melody. Just a subtle melody. Track wasn't crazy. She was like, "I waited till I saw the sun. Don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come." Was murdered the Grammys. Murdered the Grammys. Look how effective. Look at. I remember. All right, story, and I ain't gonna say no more after this. I keep saying that. I remember in the midst of hip hop, tough acting hip hop, everything was going crazy. I remember being in the studio with Pharrell. Pharrell had played me mad records that he did with T.I. And I remember him being in the studio. We was in Platinum Studios. Big shout to Jerry Wonder, Art, and everybody. And he turned around and looked at his wife, and he said, "What should I play next?" She said, "Why don't you play Happy?" And he said, "Okay, yo, Rock, there's this track that I did." He said, "Just listen to it, boom, boom, boom." That just said, boom, boom, boom. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. I said, I went like this. I said,
fire.
I said, "And what is this going to be on?" He said, we were still listening to the music. I said, "What is this going to be on?" He said, "Despicable Me 3. I said, "You don't even know what you just did." I said, "When this comes out, the world's going to stop." I said, Pharrell, when this comes out, the world's going to stop.
Right.
It's going to stop. "Oh, so I'm happy I'm alone if you feel like the moon inside a room." He wrote that 7 times now. Every time he wrote it, they sent him back to the drawing board to write it again. You know what I'm saying? I heard it was 7 times he had to do that joint over.
Sometimes it's like that. It was
also for CeeLo, and his management turned it down. All right? "'Cause I'm happy I'm alone. When the ingredients of a record written correctly is there is no space, there is no time, there is no clock, there is nothing that's gonna stop that song from going. There's nothing that's gonna stop it. it's like it went in the earth like Superman and broke all the barriers of what wind, temperature, everything. It just broke all rules to the point where on Hot 97, after they played Young Thug, they had to say, don't. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Boom, 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 boom. It just stopped everything. Stopped everything.
That's a big break. That's a big break. That's a big break right there.
And you know what's crazy? Let me show you how effective music is, Jazz. If you take the lyrics out of Happy and listen to the track, you'll think you was listening to a Sesame Street track. Listen to the instrumental of Happy. That's how effective Pharrell was. Pharrell was so on point. If you listen to the track, you'll be like, I would have never sung on that track. I would have never even, if I played that track for Jasmine, she would have been like, Rock,
what is that?
No disrespect, Rock.
Speak on that.
No disrespect, Rock. No disrespect, Rock. I fucks with you, but do you have anything else? And I'm sitting here like, you don't hear it? Now, because in my mind, I'm like Pharrell. I'm like, you don't hear it? You don't hear it?
That's also the value. So this is another thing that's key too for the writers out there and the producers out there, is to align yourself with people and a team that you can grow with, but that you can work with. Because sometimes, I mean, a lot of times there's producers that hear things and they know the pocket, and they may not know what the song should be about, but they have an idea. And, you got to tap into that as well. Same thing the other way. Like, I love creating from the ground up. And that's because I like to write to the least amount of instruments possible, because, again, my ear is so attracted to melody that I get lost because I hear everything sometimes. And then, producers, they like to fill up they don't leave a lot of space. And then you're like stuck. You can go here, or here, or here, or here. Right. You could write against it or right on top of it, but it's hard to really get in that pocket. And so same thing when you're working with a writer, producers, like, go with the writer too. Go with the flow. Like, that's why I love creating, because it's like, it can work. It can work every time.
You know what's crazy?
It can work every time. Like, Zilla will tell you, I don't really write with a lot of writers. More often than not, the reason is because, one, I'm a better writer than they are.
Right. Fact.
And I hate it when I do a melody and I'm writing a record and I have a new writer who's like, yeah, we should do this instead. And then I can't think, and I trust me more than I trust you, and I can't hear. And, and then for 40 minutes later, us to come back to a melody that you just regurgitated that I did 40 minutes ago. So I don't really do it. I don't do it. I don't do the, let's say this because this is really cool to say right now.
No.
And so I will just retreat, because I'm not about to, you just have this whole song. Zilla, you already know.
Right.
Y'all want to sing over each other? Go right ahead. But, like, I don't trust your ears. I trust mine.
Right.
So, like,
That's it. So real quick.
Real quick. Let me add.
Real quick. I'm gonna let you add. What Rock is pointing at right now is the comment that I pinned.
Of course, the song that she wrote.
So amazing.
So amazing, yeah.
Jasmine wrote that hook.
Right.
Let's be clear. Because a lot of times, no, we got to give her our props.
We got to.
A lot of times people don't understand, like, there's people behind the scenes, right? These records that you love and you're like, oh my God, that was my favorite, right? On the Massacre album, 50 Cent, she wrote that. So let's be clear on that. You feel me? Mm-hmm. This is the process. This is the process of understanding how to write a great hook that connects with people, that resonates with people, to move on. You know what I'm saying? And shout to Rockwilder too.
Big shout.
He was on the project before that. Get Rich or Die's Trying. You feel me? He got a great record.
You're right. I was also pointing at her point. I just didn't know what box she was in. So I was whatever box she was in.
He's like, whatever box she's in.
She is so right. Mm-hmm. When somebody's in the room and they're good, they know don't come in here with that. Don't come with the malarkey. Don't come with it. Just don't.
Right.
Because I'm gonna have to cut you. Because it doesn't flow. It doesn't flow. Like, and they'd be like, how do you like that? And I have to say, no, you're not doing that. Right. No, that don't sound right. And then you know what I'm mad about? I'm like, you don't hear it not sounding right?
Right.
Like, you don't hear it. You don't hear it not. And I get kind of insulted because I'm like, so that means that as long as this studio is, if he don't shut up, I'm gonna have to deal with this for the whole night.
Right.
Of just the wrong ideas, the wrong word, the wrong ad-lib, the wrong this. Don't be in the back humming. Don't be humming. Nothing. If it's just, you know, it come to me and be like, Rock, how do you feel about this one? But nah, that's not it. Okay. And chill. Don't be somewhere by the mic. Don't be by Jasmine like, don't be over her like, no, like, no.
Rock, that's what I be doing. That's what I be doing. She be like, yo, Zip, you gotta
you gotta chill out.
I do not.
Nah,
no, but you know what? Zilla knows. It's not. Listen.
Stick to the beat, Zilla. Stick to the beat.
I still look at myself with all the experience that I have. I'm still trying to do something I never did before. I'm still trying to have that feeling like when I listened to Just My Imagination as a little girl, and I listened to the dynamic, just the way that it felt, and you know, it just, or like one of my favorite songs was Tracks of My Ears, which is so simple, but it's just so like, could you just imagine, like, you know,
right, Jasmine, I stayed by my, Jazz, I stay by my window and watch her as she passes by.
Right. We already know
That's
that.
it.
Look at Let's Stay Together. I so in love with you.
Right.
Whatever you want to do is all right with me.
All right with me.
You make me feel so
brand new.
new.
That's it.